See if I can pick it. Hey everybody, Noodle Thumb here. Today I have this Dumb IX SR 6SR. Yeah. This is a purple belt dimple lock. There's a shot of the key there. This is lent to me by Vector Potential. This is not a curse lock though, and I think it's one that I can open. It's a 5-pin lock. Oh, I gotta show you the cool thing. It's a 5-pin lock, and it has also this interactive element down at the back of the lock. Kind of cool thing. You stick it in there, and it's got a side bar, actually a bottom bar, that it allows to retract. I'll show you that mechanism when I gut it. But first, I gotta pick it. Oh, hold on. I have to tell my camera where I want it to focus. Let's see. Let's adjust this a little bit. There we go. So to pick this for the interactive element, we got this Covert Instruments 25,000th medium hook. Comes in the Genesis set. And to pick the main element of it, I have this multi-pick 5 flag. And I hope it's gonna work with this tensioner. I have it scooted all the way over to the side of the lock there, so as to disrupt the pushing of the interactive as little as possible. But I also need it, you can see I'm stabilizing the dimple pick right alongside the tensioner. Okay, a little core movement with 4 and then a little bit on 1. Saw a little counter rotation there on 2. Getting feedback on 3. I'm not sure what would drop in there. Little counter rotation on 5. Dropped, I think, 4. But I'm not getting any more feedback, which I think means it's interactive time. So let's give it a try. So this goes all the way back. Already feels soft. So I think it was not yet interactive time. I think maybe it's dumb barreled spools time, maybe, where I got them past the spool part and then there's the barrel part on the end. There we go. Where you thought you lifted enough and you lifted past the lip, but there's actually a little more lifting to do before you're actually home free. So now I'm going to go through. 1 and 4 do feel like they're set. They are low lift pins and have torpedoes under them. So that's where you don't want any counter rotation. If you start feeling it, it means you're in dangerous waters. Okay. 5 is a really high lift. So I'm trying to just see if maybe there's a little more of that I need. I don't think there is. I think maybe it's interactive time again. Yeah, 5 feels alright now. Okay. Let's check the interactive again. That felt a little better. Okay, maybe that made a difference. Or maybe I'm fooling myself. Ooh, that felt good. So that was pin 2. I must have come off that barreled section. Okay, now I'm gonna try the interactive again. There we go. And then let's see what else is holding on just a little bit. A little bit on 3 maybe. Ooh, that was definitely a little on 5. Back on 3. 2. 1 is firm. 2 is firm. 3 is firm. 4 is firm. 5 is just way the heck up there. I think it's good. So I was turning it about to there, which is about as far as this pick can go. Okay. So that all feels good. I'm going to poke the interactive again. No, nothing doing there. Okay. Ooh. Maybe that was some on 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 'Sure I'm past. Hold on. That's 4. Okay. It's gotta be 5 then. Nope. That didn't feel right. I might have just overset 5 and nope. Okay. I don't think so anyway. Okay. Take a breath. Check the interactive once more. It's definitely down. Okay. One's firm. I must have overset 2. Okay. 1, yep, 2 is back. So that's good. Three. Did I just overset 3? Maybe I did. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna reset. Okay. So just wiggling under everything here. Okay, 4 gives me core movement. And that's all I need is that one little bit from it. 3. Okay. And 3 needs set deeper, I think. Okay. And then what am I caught up on? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I overset 3 right off the bat. So don't do that, Noodle. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, which I also don't want to overset. 5, which I can't really feel. Check the interactive. It's fine. You know what though? My tensioner has migrated. See, this pick should slide in there just fine. If it doesn't, then my tensioner is out of place. Okay, so essentially starting over again. Okay, so 5 Gave counter and I kept lifting, and then gave some good core movement, so that's nice. Oop, I think I'm back on 3 binding. Oh, that's 1 overset. There we go. 2, 3. Yep, that was 3 that I gave a touch there. 4 I don't want to do much on, because I really don't want to overset that torpedo and have to fight that whole thing. Okay. We did give 4 a light tap. And got some core movement, so that's nice. 3, 4's firm now. Okay. Interactive time. There we go. I think. Yep. Maybe. I can't tell if I've already said it and it just didn't give me much of a feel. I don't know. We'll see what the top pins feel like now. Okay. So a little bit of core movement, setting 5. A little bit of feedback, but didn't feel like core movement on 3. 2 is pretty firm. 3 is pretty firm. 4 firm. 5 felt like it moved a little bit. And we're open. All right. Well, that took quite a bit longer than I'd have liked, but shoot, I'm getting a call because I'm on call. Well, there's a pic of the Dom RX6SR, and I will be back in a little bit with the gut. And I am back. One of the not very hidden benefits of being on call is that you, hold on, you get to film in the wrong orientation. So I'm going to stop this and then restart it. And now we are flipped back to the correct orientation. So you, my dear viewers, get 3 videos in one with like probably a third of the pleasure. Congratulations. Okay, I bring this into my preferred, more overhead orientation for gutting. You probably do not need me to tell you, but spliced videos don't count for belts, but for Don points you don't technically have to gut. So I get to do what I want. But what I really want to do in this one, the reason why I wanted a gutting video, is because I think it's a cool inside of this lock. So let's get the key so I don't break a borrowed lock. Shim for the same reason. Come on. Maybe I'll be a fancy person and use a new shim. My daughter commented on the sorry state of my shims the other day. I told her, well, there's something nice about a fresh shim, and that's that it's, you know, predictable and doesn't have these creases and things. But that an old shim is like an old friend. And I don't like to get rid of either one. So this here was the passive pin, side pin. It came out right there. Alright, so just for completeness sake, I'm going to drop this side pin back in there so you can see its original state. So it was there. Pulling out the key. Yeah, I can do this. Pulling out the key, you can see that side pin divot is right there. Let's see, that one. And it sets nice and flush. Here's the sidebar, which is really the bottom bar. You can see that spring compresses, and over on this end it's got that pin. So when you depress the interactive element, which is that pin, it protrudes like toward the screen, and that pushes the sidebar that way, compressing that spring. If that sidebar is not compressed, if the spring is not compressed, it sticks out. When it scoots back, it fits into the core like that. So that's what that interactive element does on the key. Let me switch fingers holding those in. So I'll lift out this sidebar. The spring goes into a recess in the back of it. That goes into slot 7. These pins are kind of hard to remove in a way that's visible on video, but I'm going to give it a try. Nope. Okay, not with the key in place. So here we go, pulling the key. And I think I can push push them. That may hold it up enough. Nope. Okay. So there's passive pin. I'm just gonna line these up in slot 6. All of these bottom bar pins. So I think, let's see. Yeah, these are just passive pins that if you don't have the right cutout on the key, oh, there, I ejected it. If you don't have the right cutout on the bottom of the key, that's these 3 up there. If you don't have those cutouts, then these pins will protrude and keep your bottom bar again from setting into the core. And this one, I don't know if I'm going to be able to lift sufficiently. Ooh, nope, I just launched it. So there's the shape of that one. It sits, the cone is out, providing a angled face to interface with the bottom bar. Okay. And these are just regular. Oh, there's that side pin again that I forgot about for a second time. These are just regular key pins. Nope, I'm going to do them from this side because then I can see them and maybe control their exit a little better than I otherwise could. Okay, key pin 1, just long torpedo. I'm going to try to get them all set at a nice comfy angle for me to pull them out one by one. Oh, nope. I gave that one a goodly shove. Not a brotherly shove. This is not the area of the country for that. We don't do that here in Denver. Well, we're not. I'm not in Denver, but my Broncos don't do that brotherly shove. This is Broncos country. Extends all the way down through southern Colorado into New Mexico. Not that I'm in New Mexico. People sometimes mistake this area of the state as New Mexico, and it is not. It is Colorado. All right. So there's our key pins. Nothing really fancy to see in terms of core. It's a pretty standard dimple core. It does have a lot of different places for these passive pins. Mine only had 3, by which I mean, of course, Vector Potentials only has 3. Thank you for lending me the lock, by the way. This one I appreciate. The Yale B can have other choice words about that lock right now. I may come back around to it, make episode 4 prequel or a reboot or whatever they call that. But this lock was actually fun to pick. kind of neat to have an interactive element that doesn't entirely isolate. I had to go back and check it a couple times, and then after it was set, you know, still had more pins to set in the main lock. Let's see. So pin 4 had just a regular barrel above it. Pin 1 had a regular spool. And then 2, 3, and 5 have these, I think they call them magic DOM drivers or DOM magic drivers. But it's really a combination of a spool and a barrel, where you pick the spool and then you still got the barrel end that you need to shove it off of. Spring in chamber 1 really just wants to stay home tonight. Alright, so there we go. For the core, you can see it's got a place for a proper sidebar. That's the active groove for the bottom bar. Nothing much else to see. Well, there's a hole for the interactive. It's got this chamber. Let's see. That chamber right there. That looks like it should be occupied or could be occupied. They drilled through here on into, no, those line up. I don't know what the function of that one is for, but I'll give you a close-up of the pins here. So there's that regular spool, chamber 1 sitting over a torpedo, a barrel in chamber 4 over a torpedo, and then these DOM drivers with the spooled section, lip of the spool that gives counter rotation, and then that barreled section that makes you lift it even a little more afterwards. And those are the ones that set after the interactive. So there is a pick, camera misuse, and gut of the DOM IX6SR. Have a good one, everybody.